How's it going? Beagler Bass Fishing here. Today, I'm gonna go over rigging up a Senko worm with the Wacky Tool. Okay, now I know when you rig up a worm Wacky style, we're just gonna use this hook. This isn't the hook I would use, but it's a bigger hook to show you. Normally for Wacky style, I'd probably use one of these, but Wacky style pretty much is taking a hook and putting your Senko in like that, in that kind of a manner. It gives it a better action and stuff like that. But problem is, you know, when you rig them like this, you only get one or two pulls before the bass breaks it. So they made the Wacky Tool. Okay, this tool has some bands on it, and it helps you rig it up in a wacky style just a little different. So what you would do is, the tool's meant to, you slide your worm into the Wacky Tool, okay, and you grab these little grommets and you slide it down. Now the reason why you have the tool is it stops you from destroying your worm. If you try to do it by hand, you'll probably destroy your worm. So you slide this down, okay, and then what happens is it puts that band on your worm, okay, and you slide it down, and then what you do is, instead of hooking into your worm all the time, you hook into this plastic grommet right here. Okay, let me get it there for you. Give me a second. All right, so now when the fish pulls, he's pulling on that, and you get a ton more out of your Senko. Problem I find with doing it this way is, all right, you're pulling it this way, okay, and the bass comes, let me get the hook here. The bass comes and grabs it, okay, and you pull it out of his mouth. I'm going to show you a trick to rig it this way where that won't happen. What you do is, when you're rigging it up wacky style, okay, you put two bands. So you would grab two, and these bands are like, I think you can get them for like $1 for like 20 of them, the bands, but you rig two, okay? There you go. So you got two bands. And what you want to do is you want to cross them like an X. Okay. You want to get them crossed like an X. And just get it for a second. Like that. Okay. Now, what you can do is, all right, get it in here. Give me a second. Having a hard time getting it. Darn it. All right, bear with me, I got it. I had to poke my hand, I was tired this early morning. All right. Now it's like that. So when you're pulling it like this, all right, the bass is gonna come and grab it. He's gonna get hit with that part. All right, when you use the Wacky Tool, it sits your hook on an angle like that, kind of, and the fish can't grab it. When you X them like that, all right, now, all right, it's going to be pulling like this, and the bass can grab it like that, and you're going to hook the bass. Works out really good. I like using the Wacky Tool because it saves worms, but the second part of this little video here is I'm going to show you something about these worms I'm using. Now, I'm a big fan of Gary Yamamoto worms. I like Gary Yamamoto worms because they work. I've used a lot of different Senkos, well, mainly his Senkos, and I've used the Senkos for a long time, and I didn't get a lot of bite. I mean, I got bite in them, but not crazy. And one day I bought a pack of the Gary Yamamoto worms. Main reason I didn't buy them was they're just a little pricey. It depends, anywhere from $7 to $9 for a bag, and they only come with, they don't come with this many. I stacked 2 bags in here. So I was watching other YouTubers' videos comparing the Gary Yamamoto versus the other ones, and I seen the way it moved. So I went and I said, you know what, I'm going to spend the extra $2. I bought this bag. These right here are green pumpkin, okay? 8 worms in there. 8 casts. I caught 8 fish. I use Gary Yamamoto Senkos now. He's not a sponsor of mine. I get nothing free from him. I just choose to use his worms. But let me show you a little something. The thing about the Gary Yamamoto worms is they're good, but you only get about 1 fish out of them because they break. You get about 10 casts. They're just very weak. They're good stuff, good salt content, but they're very weak. So I was in a store, and I was telling the guy I wanted to buy some Wacky Tool bands because the bands on the Wacky Tools, you know, you only get a couple of them, and you run out of them. So me being, you know, want to be prepared, wanted to buy a couple of them. The guy said, well, don't buy that. Why do you use a Wacky Tool? I'm like, well, it works better. You save your worms. He goes, no, you need to try these new worms. I'm not sponsored by these guys either, but I'm just telling you. Z-Man. I'm just going to show you this. Try doing that with any other worm. It'll break. Heavy salt content. The difference between these and the Z-Man, I'm probably gonna, you know, I'm probably just gonna do another blog on the difference in these. But the main reason why I started using these because you could put a hook through them a couple times and they don't break. Texas rigging, like I said, I'll get into another video on that. But these are really good for not Texas rigging, for wacky rigging. They just hold up better. You don't catch as much fish as you do on a Gary Yamamoto, in my opinion, where I fish at. I fish in Central Florida. But I tried them. My wife was catching a ton of fish last weekend on the Z-Man, so I guess it's just where you're fishing, what time it is, and you know, fishing is always about luck. I mean, a lot of it's skill, but a lot of it's luck too, where you fish at. That's how I see it. Well, like I said, the Wacky Tool, you can get this Wacky Tool, I believe it was like $5 in Dick's Sporting Goods. Walmart, I don't believe Walmart carries them. They have other brands and stuff. I just got this Field and Stream one. I'll put a link down on the bottom of the description of where you can buy this Wacky Tool. I'm also going to put a link to the Z-Man worms that I just showed you. And, I mean, the Gary Yamamoto, I'll put a link to these too. You could buy them both and try them yourself. I'm going to do a whole separate blog, or vlog as you call it, on the difference between them. That'll be coming up soon. And, you know, I hope this helped you out because I'm a big plastic worm fisherman. And, you know, I just started wacky rigging. It helps out a lot. Oh, tired, excuse me. But I really hope the video helped you out. And I hope you could take this information and use that out there when you're on the water. And I'll leave it off as, you know, be safe on the water, introduce kids to fishing, take someone fishing. You know, I started fishing when I was a kid. Just, it's always good to take the kids out. And if you have any questions about, you know, the wacky rig or how I use it or where I do, just shoot me over a comment in the description and I will be able to answer your questions. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Beagle or Bass Fishing channel. And we'll be putting up more videos. I know I haven't put videos up in a while. It's just I work. I don't get paid to be a YouTuber. I wish I did. But I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was helpful. And just like and subscribe. Thank you.